Welcome to eHealth Learning, inspiring professionals worldwide.
So, welcome to Embodied Health Learning, and a warm welcome to Chloe Morris, who has been working with us for over a year now. And Chloe is the founder of Pink Flamingo Marketing at pinkflamingomarketing.com. And she and I work together at practitionerwebsites.com, working with practitioner clients to build websites and marketing strategy, among other things like SEO, photography, film branding for practitioners. And tonight, we're going to launch her fabulous course on Grow Your Practice and give you an introduction to what the course will contain, as well as flesh out some of the principles behind marketing as a practitioner and some of the hurdles that practitioners think are there, but perhaps Chloe can help soften with some experience and wisdom. So warm welcome, Chloe.
Thank you. So I've been live a couple of times in the Embodied Health community Facebook group over the last couple of weeks with Julian, where we've been discussing some Q&As, really, where we've been kind of opening up what it is that people want to know more about. And off the back of that, I have created a webinar, which also sits in line as well with the upcoming course, which are going to launch, which I think is ready to launch this evening, isn't it, Julian? Yeah, you've got your mute on.
That's right.
I'm just I think we're ready to launch this evening.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Fabulous. So, welcome. And I'm going to share my screen with you in a moment and talk you through some key ideas about marketing foundations for practice growth. So I think at the end as well, we're taking a Q&A.
Yeah. So if you're joining us here in Zoom, you can put your questions to Chloe in the chat area. It's usually best, or you can use the Q&A, but the chat is easy. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can pop your questions below the live stream there, and I'll field them to Chloe after her presentation.
Fabulous. So I'll go ahead and share the screen then, if that's okay.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. We're on full screen here. Perfect. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be too big. So the webinar this evening is obviously entitled Marketing Foundations for Practice Growth. So during the webinar, we are going to look at realigning relationship with marketing. We're going to look at foundations for future growth. We're going to look at clear messaging, and we're also going to look at the ideas of a new online landscape as well. So firstly, just want to ask you, what is marketing? What does it mean to you? Because you're all going to have different answers to this. So you're all going to have a very different relationship with your marketing, whether you love it, maybe you loathe it, maybe it's something that you have to do, maybe it's something that stresses you out, or maybe it's actually a bit of a creative outlet for you as well. So I'm sure you're all going to have a very different stance on this. So I'd be interested to hear some of your opinions at the end. So I'd love you to take some time actually and just think about what your relationship is like with marketing. So essentially, marketing is about communicating what you love best, what you do best, and it's about helping other people that are going to benefit from your modality as well. So it's nothing icky, it's nothing that should be like hugely frustrating once you actually understand how to use it to its best. So I often talk about how marketing is one of the most creative things you can do, because part of it, there's a lot of storytelling around what it is that you do in your modality. There's also the design element as well. So looking at your fonts, at looking at the colors, the styles and things that you may use throughout your branding. There's also might be an element of photography in there as well. So you might be taking photos of maybe your clinic or maybe you at practice in your modality. And also there's room for lots of creative ideas as well. So coming up with promotions, coming up with different ways to actually communicate to your audience and your clients as well. So I'm going to walk you through now an awareness of maybe some things that you may be feeling with marketing. So these are some areas that I always love talking about, because it always, like, I can't see all of your heads nodding here, but I'm sure as I come through some of the options here, we're going to have some heads nodding. So any of these sound familiar? Procrastination. I'm guilty of this as well. So quite often marketing is just not getting done because it's an area that we are procrastinating with, and it's just something that we keep putting off. And we know that we need to do some marketing. We know we need to get our website finished, or we know we need to write some social media posts or send that email newsletter. And we have all of a sudden the cleanest house, and the dog's been walked and everything because we're procrastinating. It's not getting done. Another one as well is perfectionism. This is really, I'm feeling this myself at the moment as well. So sometimes I'm procrastinating over stuff because I'm actually being a perfectionist, because I'm thinking I'm just going to tweak that a little bit more before I launch it. I'm just going to keep on refining things, and things are just never good enough, so you never actually launch them. So this again is something that's really predominant with websites and things like this. You think, okay, I'm just going to make sure it's perfect before I actually get it out there, and actually it's probably stopping anyone from hearing about your modality because you're being a perfectionist about getting it out there. Imposter syndrome as well. This one I see time and time again with therapists and practitioners, because we all love to learn more. So we always think, I'm not wanting to market what I do because I need to do that extra course, or I need some more experience, or I need to understand my audience a bit better. So imposter syndrome is something that doesn't go away, but it's something that we can work on by actually strengthening our marketing and just making sure that you feel comfortable with what it is that you put out there. Inconsistency as well. So like with any business, this comes up all of the time, particularly again with therapists, practitioners, body workers. Inconsistency with marketing. So only marketing when you're actually desperate for new clients. So you may have a steady stream of clients that might be great already, but maybe the clients that come to work with you are quite inconsistent in the way that they may work with you for a set number of sessions, and then you may not see them again because you fixed them. So you need to be keeping consistent with your marketing, because otherwise you're not going to see the results that you need to. So inconsistency is another big one as well with our marketing. And last one here is FOPI, what I like to call FOPI. So this is something that I coined whilst working with therapists about 5 years ago. I just kind of came up with it, and I thought, oh, that sits quite nicely into an acronym. So FOPI is fear of promoting yourself. It's something I work with quite a lot, and it's when people have a total block or a fear when it comes to marketing. This is super common and also can raise its ugly head at any point. So just to let you know, I'm sure we probably got some heads nodding there anyway, that all of these things, it happens to all of us, particularly as we grow our practice as well, and we start pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone a little bit as well. So it happens to all of us. So now I just want to talk you through about how we can realign this relationship with our marketing. So take a few moments just to think about your relationship with your marketing and acknowledge what parts you like, because there probably are some parts that you like, probably the creative aspect of it, or maybe it's the engagement that you get with new clients. Also noticing any resistance as well that you have here, and considering how marketing could work for you if we realign this relationship. So I'm just going to give you a couple of moments here just to tick this over in your mind and just have a think of it before we whiz through to the next step. Now, I'm super interested to hear what everyone has to say about this actually afterwards. So we'd love to hear what everyone's relationship is with their marketing. So my mission is to help you learn to love your marketing, because it's something that is about displaying what it is that you do best in your modality. It's about what you love most about your modality and just communicating that to everyone. So next, we're going to look at the secret to realigning your relationship with your marketing. So number one, I feel, is clarity. So get clear in what you want and what you don't want. So getting clear in what it is that you want to do with your marketing. So are you looking to grow? Are you looking to develop your practice? And also what you don't want. Maybe you don't want to be super famous on Instagram, and that's okay, because you don't have to be. So getting clear in what you want and understanding your clients and their needs as well. So make sure that you have clarity around their needs and what it is that they want to see. So what it is that they want to learn more about. They want to learn more about your practice, and they want to hear more from you about. Clarity around finding your unique superpowers as well. So this is how you are unique compared to anyone else who is also servicing the same modality as well. So making sure that you understand your unique place in that market as well, and getting clear in what you're communicating. So once we have some clarity in how we are communicating our superpowers and what it is that our clients need to hear, then this is going to help realign that relationship. Our next one is to lay foundations as well. So making sure that you understand your message and you have that in place, and you're not having to every time you write a introduction or something, or maybe a social media post, that you actually are not starting from scratch every single time. So making sure that you have that message there, that foundational message, so then you can adapt your social media posts, and actually having a bit of a format of developing that message and storytelling as well. Also laying foundations with marketing systems. So things that are going to support you as well, so that you're actually going to enjoy marketing, because you're not having to do everything all the time. For example, things like if you're using a scheduler and you're actually just spending half a day per week just working on all of your marketing and putting it all in place and having a system that works then for you. So you're not having to do everything manually and spin all these plates and work 24/7, because that's not what we want. The next one is to develop your knowledge as well. So understanding how marketing works and how you can promote your services better. So once you understand how marketing works, that's going to really help you from feeling frustrated and overwhelmed with doing your marketing. And the next one is to make a plan as well. So understand, like, knowing what you need to do. So you're not actually just thinking, okay, I need to sit down and do my marketing now, and then I'm going to be completely overwhelmed by what I'm doing. So knowing what we need to do, and not what what we are expected to do all the time. So just making sure that you are focusing on quality over quantity as well. So you're not trying to do loads and loads and loads of things, and it's just not getting anywhere. It's like shouting all the time. So just making sure that you have a consistent message there and you're developing your audience. Also, foundations for growth that meet your goals as well. So just making sure that you have a plan to create these foundations that are going to see your overall growth plan. Okay, so now we're going to move on to why foundations for future growth. Okay, so firstly, we need foundations for a strong underpinning. They are aligned, that we have foundations there that are going to align to support our growth. So we're not actually like stretching at the seams here. We're not getting buried under mountains of paperwork, and also risking our client satisfaction as well. So making sure that we still have the time to be spending with our clients and keeping them happy. And essentially that strong underpinning there is going to hopefully make life a little easier, because you're going to have systems in place, which I talk you through actually in the course, of how we can make life easier rather than trying to spin all these plates and be all of these different things. Next is to ensure that all marketing is time and money well spent. So marketing can be quite time consuming, especially if we've got an unclear message or services. So it's all well and good putting out Facebook advertising or anything like this, and then they land on your web page or something, and it is unclear of what message or services that you offer. You may have social media followers as well that don't know what it is that you actually do, and they're not used to paying you any money or booking in with you at all. So if you are specifically working, your clinic is local and you are working with hands-on body work, obviously you're not going to be working online. So being based in the UK and then having social media audience that are all in the States is probably not going to help you. So just making sure that your social media followers know what you do and where you're located as well. Also sending them to website with broken links as well. No call to action, so they don't know how to book or to buy. And also making sure that you've got like something to capture your inquiries there as well. So making sure that you're not spending all of this money or all of this time on your marketing. Saying money there, I definitely believe in organic marketing. So that is not by using loads of advertising. So all of the methods that I teach in the course are all to do with organic marketing. So yeah, just making sure that none of your inquiries are getting missed as well, because it's all well and good doing all this fantastic marketing if actually then they are emailing the wrong email address and you're thinking, well, I'm not getting anyone contacting me. So just making sure that all of these foundations are there in place. Also maintaining a professional practice as well. So making sure that you have a professional presence online and in person, because first impressions count, and you need to make sure that these first impressions are consistent as well. So anyone who is going to be making an inquiry with you, that make sure that the person that contacts you on a Monday when you've had a nice weekend off and you're fresh to the week, that they are going to be speaking with the same person as they are on Friday once you've been stretched and you're pulling your hair out because 101 things have gone wrong because you don't have your foundations in place. So make sure that you are building those client relationships from the get-go as well, because these are going to help you with future growth, because you never know who they know. And lastly, on this point as well, so foundations for future growth by having a roadmap as well, so that you know where you're heading and you don't get sidetracked. So you have a foundational roadmap to know that you can then grow your practice as much as you want, and making sure that you are gaining that growth that you deserve because you've put in the hard work. And also becoming crystal clear on what you do and who you help as well. So you're not wasting any of those marketing efforts on the wrong people. So we're going to go on to message now. So why do you need a clear message? So essentially, it's about creating awareness of what it is that you do, but again, attracting those right people here. So if you're working locally, making sure that you are attracting people who are in a catchment area for you, just making sure that you are then building an audience that are going to be local to you. It's also about communicating what you do in a language they understand as well. So making sure that you have a clear message where you're not using loads of specialist modality terminology that actually your client, your ideal client, doesn't understand. So making sure that you have a clear message of to communicate with them. Also that they understand the next steps as well. So they understand that call to action there. So they understand how to buy from you, when they can buy from you, where they would need to be for those services. Just making sure that you have all of these points in place as well. Also, where to put your clear message. So just a couple of examples here is obviously making sure that you have clear messaging on your website and making sure that when people land on your website, they realize that they're in the right place. You've grabbed their attention, you've gained their interest, you've developed this desire that they think, okay, I can see that they are professional, they know what they're talking about, they get results, and they are the person that I want to go for that particular modality. So just making sure that you have this clear message both throughout website and also social media as well, because social media is essentially like a shop window. So, you can have the prettiest Instagram grid in the world, but if it doesn't have some marketing strategy in there and it's not clear about what it is that you do and who you help, then it may as well just be a fan page, because it's not actually going to be creating any value for your practice. So just making sure you have this clear message there. So clear message is more important than ever, especially over this last few months as well. Now, a lot of us are working in an online environment as well. So some of us are able to practice online. Some of us now will be offering different services that we can offer online as well. So if maybe your modality will not be able to be offered online, but if you are able to offer this online, it opens up your target audience as well. So you could then be working with anyone in the world, literally, especially if you have a very, very specialist modality and you have expert knowledge in a particular area that actually someone from the States or Australia or the other side of Europe could actually be interested in working with you. So it opens up your target audience. So just making sure that you have this clear message because of that. Also, because we have a lot of browsing going on online as well. Our browsers don't ask questions. And when I say browsers, I mean like window shoppers, people who are checking out your website, checking out your social media, and they're not, you're not around to answer the questions. And likelihood is they're probably not going to send you an email or drop you a message to ask you a question. They'll just make a judgment in an instant and think, it's not for me. I'm not going to ask, I'm just going to go somewhere else. So just making sure you have this clear message there, because browsers don't ask questions. So next, we're going to open up to this idea of this new online landscape. So how has COVID-19 changed client behavior? So we've turned into a nation of online learners. We are all loving to just really learn about things. And it's also opened up to a lot of online events as well. So I'm seeing a lot of online retreats, workshops and courses and things like this. And a lot of you, just like you are this evening, enjoying webinars and learning more, whether that's about modalities or about other things. So actually, we are now, as a nation, wanting to understand things a little bit more. So is that a time to niche. So thinking now, working with this potential global audience and marketplace, is there some way that you can demonstrate what it is that you do to this online audience? And also, because of this online audience, people are able then to work and learn with experts and specialists as well. So maybe you can actually work with building a community online as well. So within your modality, maybe you've actually become closer to other people who offer the same modality as you because of this. Also, developing message to communicate online services. So again, this needs to be crystal clear. Your message needs to be crystal clear. So make sure that you are developing your message to communicate anything that you are offering online then to this global audience. So after hopefully this all ends in the next few months, and will clients still prefer to meet online where they can as well? So this obviously, if you are a hands-on body worker, or you're working with a hands-on modality, obviously things like that can't be done online. But will they want to do things like their pre-assessments online? Will they want to complete their documents online as well, and also continue online sessions where they can, and also attending online events as well? So I personally am really hoping that I can still attend all these amazing online events that I'm seeing and also joining in with as well. So just a couple of things to consider there. So preparing your online landscape. So just making sure that you get your message right to attract the right people. So I cannot stress enough, make sure that you are getting your message right. So going to introduce a little bit here the online course which I've been creating for embodied health community. So it's something that's been in the pipeline for quite a while now, and decided this seems everyone is loving to learn online and things, and everyone's working on their foundations and things for the future. Thought this was a good time to release, and I'm really looking forward to hearing how some of you are able to implement this into your practice as well. So I'm just going to talk you through really quickly each of the parts of the course. So part 1 has 4 videos consisting of goals for growth. Number 2 is promotional limiting beliefs. Number 3 is creating a professional presence. And number 4 is about practice foundations. And part 2, the topic is nurturing your message. And there are 4 videos again in here, which are refining your ideal client, mapping out your services, developing your message, and spreading the word. Part 3, strategies for flourishing, which are about building an online audience. And number 2 is building an audience locally. Websites 101, so what you need on your website, and utilizing social media. And then the last one, last part of the course is about plans for harvesting growth. And that is about onboarding with new clients, building and developing relationships, content planning, and creating a marketing action plan. So you can read more over at embodiedhealthlearning.com/grow-your-practice. So yeah, thank you, Julian, who's just popped the link there into Zoom. So yeah, we're open up for questions, I think, now, Julian.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Chloe, for walking us through that foundation to growing your practice and what will be in the course. So anybody with us tonight, do you want to revisit the first question? You said how people feel currently about marketing. So maybe you might fancy to type in words that come up for you right now around marketing. And then there was another question that you...
Yeah, so yeah, what does marketing mean for you? So I would love to hear what everyone what marketing means for them,
Yeah.
and what their relationship is with it, whether they love it, they loathe it, it's creative, something that stresses them out, it's something that they love but never have the time for, maybe they don't prioritize,
Yeah.
maybe it's something they just have to do and they drag their feet. um, any of these options are okay, obviously,
Yeah.
um, to feel like that. But it's about improving it and improving our relationships surrounding marketing so that we can actually um, see benefit from it. Because if
Mm.
we don't work on that relationship, we've got here, marketing is my least favorite part of my business. Yeah, it is for many, but I'd be interested to hear why. Why do you think that?
This is super
Mm,
common for practitioners.
yeah,
Why we wanted to work together, Chloe, wasn't it, with practitioner?
yeah,
And so many of your clients are practitioners, and it's such a and I think you touched on it, you know, using the language, writing copy on your website or your social media that that um, embraces what you love about your practice, but is also readable. You know, when we talk in jargon or in words that we're familiar with, out of this kind of frustration about hating it or yuckiness, we sometimes forget to write in a language that our target audience would understand and that would even be appealing to them. When I think back at the way I used to do marketing for my practice, it was just kind of describing from my own mind how I would describe it to another practitioner, but it wasn't
yeah.
accessible to the client. So
Exactly, they don't understand that terminology, so it's about simplifying that language. And we as practitioners, we know what it is that we do best, but it's just we don't know how to communicate it. We end up with that block then, because we can't put across that.
mm,
And then if we then have this resistance with our marketing, it then they say marketing always needs to come from your happy place. So if you have resistance in the way that you are talking about your modality, then that is going to impact energetically the way that your client may feel about it as well, because the way that you are, the terminology you're using, the wording you're using as well, so these power words, they're going to be different.
yeah,
So it's when you take the time to actually work on it and develop it, and be, and let go of that pressure that we give ourselves as well, of getting it right straight away, that's when it's going to cause us with this resistance and this block. We just can't get past that.
yeah.
Mm,
And the imposter syndrome is what he's saying there. And this
yeah.
is a chicken and egg problem. For example, if you want to start working with a different type of client that you haven't yet had experience of, or you add another modality to the suite of bodywork modalities that you offer, until you've maybe had 10 clients or 100 clients, it's quite easy to feel like you're an imposter in a modality that you're not experienced in. And but until you've had some experience, you're never going to get that experience. So yeah, uh, the course,
Mm,
I think your course is going to be good for being clear about the message. So,
yeah.
and then when we're clear about the priority, how we can help, and we're confident that we can give that benefit, that it's not, then I'm not an imposter plucking out of the air that I'm some master of whatever modality, but I'm
Mm,
clear about the reason with which I'm confident to, if you're allowed in your modalities to state benefits, or there's research in your modality that shows that, you know, shoulder pain can be relieved, whatever the that is. If you're confident of that one thing that you're a specialist in, because perhaps you had that kind of injury as an athlete and now you support people working with that, and that you've had good success in your supervised training, but now you're wanting to offer it as a modality, getting clear about what it is that you're offering, and that having confidence in that one thing, rather than the kind of language that when we're newly qualified we're just baffled, we don't know what to describe
mm,
it has, and just and I think that helps more people find these modalities, because many people have no clue what Bowen therapy is or craniosacral therapy. But if there's research to show that it helps earaches, and you also came to the modality through having your own earache cured by working with another craniosacral therapist, then that might be the thing to communicate, for example, couldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to read out some of these
Yeah, lots of good
comments
comments.
here on Zoom as well. So I get stuck on the feeling that I don't have the tech skills to build the marketing platforms. So yeah, that's something as well. Like, marketing is such a vast field as well. So it's really easy to get overwhelmed because you think, I need a website, and I need SEO, and I need all this, and I need the message and things. So essentially, why I've crafted this course together, like I have, actually, like, to take you through step by step. And of course, then you can stop and start whenever you need. And also, there is, within the online portal as well, there is a link to book a one-to-one with me. And also, I'm going to be doing some marketing clinics as well for any course members once a month for the first couple of months, just to iron out any of the questions and things, because unless you are in that world, it's like me getting started with bone therapy. I wouldn't know where to start because it's not something that I trained in. It's not my specialism. So by by talking to someone who's familiar with what systems to use can actually stop a whole lot of wasted time as well. Because if you're just fiddling around and googling things and stuff, it's really easy just to get like knocked off your path and not know what to focus on. So marketing to me means selling something, lack confidence in that area, and don't like doing it. Not sure what to do, and most things I've tried didn't work. Most business here also the same things. It's all word of mouth. Word of mouth is the most effective form of marketing. It is by far the most effective form, because that is how we build trust. So with this course, that really strengthens that as well, of how you can build that word of mouth. And essentially, if you meet someone down the street and they tell you, fantastic, really recommend this modality, that person is not just going to go off that person's word of mouth, but they're actually, you might have a business card that they can pass, or they're going to go and check your website, have a look at any online reviews, and they're going to see if they've got a direct connection with you, because it's okay for Ben down the road to tell you that that they need to go and see that body worker, but actually they would then want to see if they have a good connection with it. So it's still essential to have that website in place, that social media presence, but don't look at it as something that's going to be taking up all of your time either. So making sure that you are focusing on quality marketing over quantity, and actually anyone who is visiting your page, whether they can actually feel and get a connection as well with what it is that you do. And once you kind of understand how to use it and you get your rhythm, you build your own confidence then with how to use it. So that's my advice of that one. So I've got it's like Marmite. I struggle to get engagement. I feel like it's a tone of voice I must use. So there's lots of different ways of creating engagement. Engagement is not everything though, because you might be getting 100 likes on Facebook, but no clients. So actually, it's just making sure that you've got that call to action there, and there's actually there is all of the other little stepping stones there. Because if you're just focusing on engagement on social media, you may be working with an audience that they don't actually like and comment on your posts. It's not really their thing, but they might read it and then they think, okay, I'm going to take action. I'm going to give you a call, send you an email, something like this. So they may not be social media people. They might check it, but they might not follow you. So yeah, don't give yourself a hard time about lack of engagement. because it's connection is what we want to focus on.
Yeah, having a consistency in the quality of the ways that people come to your practice. I think, just to re-stress what you said, word of mouth being the best, but like you say, when they then check, if you have an Instagram account, make sure that it's professional and the links work, and because we can quickly judge for ourselves and lose faith in the, and the other side of that is, on your website, if you're not putting love into it, then it likely will not carry the essence of your passion for your practice. And therefore, when people through word of mouth perhaps, or searching, land there, they're like, oh, I'm not impressed, or it's not
exactly, it's not professional, the links aren't working, the phone number's wrong, all these sorts of things. So it's about making sure that not only so I hate using this analogy, but marketing being the funnel and things, it's like you can put as much in the top as you want with this word of mouth, but actually if they're not turning into clients as well, it's about building marketing that supports that and starts building the relationship, which is why I've got these modules in here about how to build relationships, about client onboarding, because if you have a client that comes to you and you work wonders with them, they've had a really great experience working with you over a number of weeks, they are going to go out and hopefully tell some people, and they'll say, oh great, like, oh you're feeling so much better, you're looking great, you're so much more positive, your shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. And of course they are going to be your best they're going to be your best marketing, because they're going to tell other people. But if they have a negative experience, or they haven't you've maybe been late for an appointment, or all of these different aspects, you haven't welcomed them into your service well, and if they have a negative experience, and also your messages have gone amiss and things like this, then they're going to probably say, forget it, I'm not going to go there. So good news goes far, bad news goes further. So just making sure that every step of that marketing process as well doesn't just end with that person booking with you, because you still want to market to them. You want to show them what other services, what other things you can do for them, and what you can do for other people as well. So they then become that word of mouth marketing for you.
I'd just like to say at this point, we've recommended Chloe to a lot of our practitioner colleagues, teachers and practitioners, and Chloe's worked with many of our colleagues.
Lots of them.
Yeah, and so that's word of mouth for Chloe's business elsewhere. And some of what we do together, Chloe and I, in practitioner websites, is for the parts that people don't want to do, we can do those parts for them. But the reason that we like to work with Chloe is she doesn't, as you can see, hold in a mysterious way the alchemy of the marketing. She teaches you how to do it yourself. And even if you're not doing all the parts yourself, I agree with Chloe that you should understand fundamentally and be the author of the message. Otherwise, if you say, well, I outsource all my Instagram and I pay someone £200 a month, but I don't get anything from it, that's probably why. You're probably not even looking at the Instagram.
This is something that's really, really important. Like, you should be doing, or at least being controlling your marketing yourself. So it's okay getting someone to do all the techie bits, but actually it's you who is going to be working hands-on with your clients. It's you that's going to be having this personal relationship. So if your Instagram or your marketing is written in a very different way to the way that you communicate, they've connected with the wrong person. It's like catfishing. It's like they don't have they've built this relationship with someone else they think is you, but then actually it's not you at all, it's someone else doing your marketing. So I love to just like mentor people to show them how they can do it themselves, and how they can understand it, so they can actually shape and form. So you can shape and form your marketing in your personal style, because that is what is going to work for you. Because if you're just following this blueprint that you bought online, that's not going to work for you because it's not aligned with who you are. So it's very, very important that you find your own style. You have an understanding of what is going on, and you can shape and form it how you want. So it's like one of the things that me and Julian were talking about in the Q&A the other week was the idea of getting your son or someone you know to build your website. It's like, it's okay to outsource it to them, but are they going to go do a good job? Because especially if you are working with someone who's a friend or a family or something, if it's bad, then you can't send it back. If they're taking a long time, you can't send it back. It's like being in a restaurant, okay? So when you are having in a restaurant, you pick whatever it is that you want, they arrive, the food arrives at a certain time. If you don't like it or it's really bad, you can send it back. If it takes long, you can make a complaint. But actually working with someone who's going to put all that techie stuff in place, that they work with you to create that recipe that is going to work for you. Because there is not going to be just a template. When we work with people through practitioner websites as well, we work on developing that brand, developing the message and things that are going to go into the website. So just making sure that it's not just like standard, off the shelf job that's going to be exactly the same for every other phone therapist or something. Just making sure that your message is unique to you. And by getting someone else to do that for you, they're probably not, if you're not part of that, and also if you're going to be working with someone like a VA or something to put everything in place, probably going to cost you a lot of hours for them to kind of get into what it is that you actually do. So I recommend setting the strategy yourself.
Yeah, I made that very same mistake. My school friend was leaving Penguin Books. She's a fantastic copy editor and writer. And I did input in that I described my practice, but I was very newly qualified. And I got her to write all the copy. And I just trusted, because she's a fantastic writer, that it would be great. And it was well written, but it didn't carry the resonance of my initial message, which probably, so I think we understanding why everything is done and why it's important, and getting clear is what you're great at, and this course can help people do a huge part of that. And then the bits that they don't want to do, like build the website or to do some of the other elements at practitionerwebsites.com, we have a whole team that can help people with that. But even better, when you and I work with people, is that they understand all this. Otherwise, many practitioners say, oh, just do me a website. And then, so they want to see something first. So they say, start, build. And we've been in the early days backwards and forwards with practitioners so much because they're not clear what they want. So we don't take on, do we, Chloe, any longer, clients that don't know what they want. We help them, and you help them through this. This was mentoring.
Mentoring them, and basically laying down the strategy of actually setting out their goals. So maybe, rather than actually getting down the line and, having 4 rebuilds of the website and then decide that it's actually completely wrong. It's good to have this strategy laid from the start, which is why I lay down all the foundations in the first part of the course as well, because it's actually looking at goals for growth. So it's about thinking about, how much do I want to grow my practice? If I have 200 people knock on my door tomorrow, am I going to be excited or overwhelmed? Can I fit them in? Do I have the structure there ready to fit them in? Or are those 200 people going to get annoyed with me because I haven't got back to them, and they're going to go and tell someone else? So it's about aligning again that marketing strategy to actually grow it organically in your own style, rather than spitting all of your money away on advertising
or hours sat hoping on Instagram. Like we said in one of the other Q&As, some people get the resolve behind them to, I'm going to do some marketing. Usually many times carrying this energy of resenting it, and maybe the imposter syndrome in the background there, and some fear of promoting myself. And then we sit and we make ourselves do it, and we might spend ages on Instagram, and like you said as well, might get caught in, is there engagement? Oh, nobody's liking these posts. And then if we're really like forcing ourselves through it, though, we might spend hours doing that. But if you set the clear foundations, you don't need to waste all those extra hours that you don't need to be spending that
exactly. And also spending all of your time making 5 posts per day every single day and things. Actually, if the message isn't right there and you don't have the right foundations, what is the point of having 10 million followers on Instagram if actually none of them are going to be people that are going to lie in your therapy's bed?
Yeah.
Because you're just making yourself a celebrity, and maybe actually that again is increasing your imposter syndrome. So it's about aligning those marketing strategies with what is right for you. So
Brilliant.
Something I obviously feel very passionate about.
Definitely. And I think what I've seen you help people with is whatever they're doing, to make sure that there's a clear flow into your practice. Do you have an online booking system? Does it work? Are you updating the calendar so that people are not booking when you actually have booked another session and then you're letting people down? So the client journey, how they find out about you, hopefully word of mouth. Where do they go next? They know your name and they Google it, and they have a Chloe Morris, if you were a practitioner, bowen.com or chloemorris.com. They go there. Pink Flamingo Marketing for you, though. But if it's your name, then they arrive there, and then they're, oh, this is good. That's great. I would like to book an appointment. There's like a little calendar icon. They click it. They book you. An email comes to them, a confirmation. That is all continuity of quality.
And it's building trust.
Yeah, exactly.
It's building trust. It's developing that relationship from the start, rather than seeing that you have like a really strange name on your email address, or a phone number that doesn't work, or all of these things that you put in place. So it's not only just about the message you put out there with marketing, it's about actually how you can use that to grow your practice and to actually work with more clients, develop your clients as well. So do we have any more questions?
We've said a few words about practitioner websites, but was there anything else you wanted to add? I mean, we have 3 different types of packages for practitioners to build websites. There's one which I equate to like an IKEA furniture package, in that it looks really nice and it works really well, and we deliver it to you and you have to build it yourself. It has guidance and a little tip sheet like an IKEA sideboard. The other one is web, so that's £250. And our expert developer, Mark, who also does our SEO, built some templates that we then bespoke to the client's needs. That's a 5-page practitioner website option. Option 2 is website on a plate. So that's like going to a restaurant and ordering your meal, and it arrives ready to eat, ready to go live. And that's £750 for a 5-page website. So we're basically doing all of the work for you that you wouldn't have to do if you went for that one. And then we do bespoke sites from £1,500 with Marie Tilbert, who's our senior designer. She's fantastic. We've done lots of practitioner websites. If you want a unique website and you want to go that step further with more branding advice and input into it, then there's those 3 site options. And alongside Chloe's organic style of marketing is Mark's organic SEO style, which is to get you, some marketing is interruption marketing, isn't it? And you pay for it to interrupt people's attention on a news feed. But if you are a Bowen therapist in Salisbury and you specialize in respiratory support and asthma, for example, then Mark would help you to be on the first page of Google, usually, almost always, for these niche areas, because nobody has tried to target that.
Organically without paying as well.
Yeah, you pay Mark and then you don't pay for loads of advertising. And that type of marketing, with what Chloe's talking about and what Mark does as well, is the people that are looking for you find you, rather than you're interrupting them. They're not annoyed that your ad has come up, because they have sat down because they have a breathing problem, they've heard that there's a good burn therapist in Salisbury, and they find you. So Chloe's and Mark's way of doing that, I think, is great, because they are looking for you and they find you because of what you've done right.
You're not having to convince them.
Yeah.
You're not having to put up a fight to grab their attention.
Yeah.
So like they are then coming to you, and it's about then taking that and just making sure that then they are not just someone who inquires, but actually someone who then books in with you as well.
Exactly.
So looking at every step.
And part of the imposter feeling, or the fear of selling yourself, is that the marketplace online is so full of adverts, and people hate to write, "I can cure in 5 easy steps your breathing." You know, we don't want to write or behave like that. So if we do it in a more genuine way with your approach through the course and your mentoring, or we have Mark do an SEO campaign within the website, so that you, not a campaign, an SEO audit, whatever he does, in your site, then you're not making outlandish claims or competing or making a distraction shouting on Facebook. People are finding you for what it is that but you first need to go through the process with Chloe and be clear what you're offering, so that you look for the kind of words and describe things in the kind of way that sits well with you, but also gives the information that the client needs to see. Yeah. Any questions for Chloe about her course or about tonight's topic of growing your practice?
Any comments about relationship with marketing as well?
Yeah. And have people pondered it or been facing it more during lockdown, and then thinking about, how am I going to take my practice forwards as we go forwards? So has your relationship to marketing changed, or is it the challenges felt compounded by the lack of ability to actually see clients face to face?
The course is available now, I think, actually, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the URL.
So actually, the first part is available now, and then I'm going to be releasing each of the modules each week for the next 3 weeks. So module 2 will be available next Monday, module 3 the Monday after, and module 4 the Monday after that. Just because I don't really want everyone binge watching it straight away, because it's really good to just I always call it like shavasana. So whenever I release a course and someone says, "I want module 2 now," and I'm saying, okay, just think and implement things that you have learnt in that, rather than just thinking about it all the way through. So so this week we've got the first one as well, which is foundations, goals for growth, and promotional limiting beliefs, and creating a professional presence. So that is available now. So that one is released. So available from this evening. And then as of next Monday, it's going to be refining your ideal client, mapping out your services, developing your message, and spreading the word. And part 3, which is the Monday after, building an online audience, building an audience locally, websites 101, and utilizing social media. And then the following week, onboarding, developing relationships, content planning, and creating a marketing action plan.
So Rob's saying, are there any group participation? You're going to do these clinics, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm going to do some clinics, so marketing clinics for people's questions. So we're going to gather up any of the questions that people have, probably actually in the clinic. So we'll look at some dates actually later to make sure, and then we'll do them as a group Zoom call, and then anyone from the course can then join. So we'll probably wait probably about 2-3 weeks until most people have joined the course, and then we'll start with the first clinic, and I'll be offering those once a month. So and they can shape and form the questions that you have as well, and we can record them for people to listen back on as well.
Yeah, so this course is a collaboration with Pink Flamingo Marketing from all the years of client experience Chloe's had with practitioners. because of the clinics and the length and breadth of this course, it's going to be the early bird offer of £79, which is until the 30th of June. The regular price for the course is £120. And if you're a member of eHealth Learning, you'll get 20% off. And if you email us info@ehealthlearning.tv, all this is on the page. You don't have to remember it. You just go to embodiedhealthlearning.com/grow-your-practice. And the link is in the Facebook video if you're watching on Facebook, and it's in the chat for those of you that are live here with us in Zoom. So yeah, you'll get a coupon code if you're an eHealth member, and you get 20% off this course, which is our standard price off our in-person workshops or most things that we run for members. So grab the early bird at £79 until the 30th of June, and we'll run the clinics for how long? Just we'll see. Some months.
At least 4 months, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll run at least 4 clinics to go with each of the modules. So, and obviously each of those clinics we can cover any questions that are in any of those modules as well. So,
yeah.
And if it's an ongoing thing as well, then we can always pop on some more clinics and also some additional workshops as well. Further fees? No. So within that price of the workshop, the course, sorry, in the price of that course, you can have access to the marketing clinic. I can't do this right now. Yes, so it's going to be ongoing. The early bird is until the 30th of June, and it's a course that's going to be live on the website, so you'll be able to watch it whenever you want, access 24/7. So you'll be able to access it whenever. And then the clinics, obviously, I'll do them on Zoom. I'm in the UK, so I'm going to probably do them probably late afternoon, so I can also work with the US market as well if we've got any US members on the course. So
wonderful.
Yeah. Any other last
word? Check Facebook quickly. Yes, there are some comments and things there. Yeah, so someone was just sharing their asking if there's any website examples. Linda, I suppose you're asking about good examples of good email, good practitioner websites. And Linda's also showing that it seems like there's so much to fix about what we already do, and it feels like marketing is hard work. So those are replies to your question of how do you feel about marketing and your relationship to it. Yeah, so
it's it is, I guess it is, it can be hard work, but actually if it's a process that you're enjoying and it's foundations that you're putting in place that are going to be there essentially forever, and you're just going to have to like develop and refine them over time. So it's depending on how much marketing you have in place already, and what you want to do with it. So what it is that you want to achieve. So everyone has very different goals about what they want to do with it.
Yeah, putting a systematic thought process that we can relax into rather than just holding it at bay. Keep marketing away from me.
Yeah, it's not, it's my style is no nasty sales advertising techniques. I'm not going to be encouraging you to stand in the street with a big sign shouting to people or anything like this. It's about finding your own personal style, and I'll show you what works and how you can start developing these relationships. And it doesn't have to be scary, because essentially it's just going to be talking to your future clients.
Yeah.
So it's It's you're not going to be broadcast live on TV or anything like this.
Not like us today.
Well, maybe not. If you want to be, that's totally fine. I'm sure that would have most people running for the hills. Where will the women's webinar be held? Oh, fab. Thank you for sharing, Rob. How is the webinar shared?
So it's on our page, Embodied Health Learning Community, which I can put here, Rob. Thank you very much. And I think we're going to leave it there because whilst this course is going live, we would like to, as part of our marketing, let it be known that Chloe is offering this awesome course. So you'll be able to search it there at Embodied Health Community Facebook page, and you can share it from there freely into other groups or to friends via Messenger. Yeah, and you can get the URL.
Sorry, I thought you were about to say that you can get the early bird. So yeah, grab the early bird before the 30th of June.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And some people choose to get some of the support done in terms of like continuity. We've talked about continuity. The other thing with websites is the visual. So we have many practitioners, even last week, I think Chloe and I were talking to a new client that said, could I take some pictures with my phone, use some stock images, and then Julian take some pictures of me in my practice? I would advise that think first about what you like to see when you go to a website, or what you feel confident with when you're seeking services, if it's a practitioner or another type of service. And again, visually, that's why we do the websites for people, is because that seems to be the least favorite part for practitioners. And we would advise to think about continuity. If you've got some stock imagery and some pictures from your phone, and then some professionally shot real images of you, they may not sit together and flow on a website. So think about that. Try and have some consistency of the visuals on your website, as well as the emails and the points of contact that your potential clients will be reaching you through. Make sure that they work. Yeah. So that's another question.
Yeah, that's why creating a professional presence is part of foundations as well, because I back that up again about why you need to have this professional presence on your website, and also in person as well. So in your clinic, in your actual physical clinic, as well as online.
Yeah. Any closing comments or questions from anyone in Zoom or on Facebook, or anything you wanted to add, Chloe?
No, I think that's everything. So yeah, if anyone has any further questions, I'm happy for you to send me a message as well to clarify anything. So I'll keep an eye on the feed within the Facebook page, but also how would be the best place for someone to get a message across to me?
You can email to our admin, info@ehealthlearning.tv, and we can forward that to you, Chloe, and then you reply that way.
Yeah, perfect.
Just trying to check. Any questions, John, that you have from?
No, that was great. Thank you. Wonderful. Thanks, Chloe.
Thank you.
So I've just popped the email there as well. If you've got any queries or questions for Chloe, just make it be known that it's for Chloe, and we'll forward it to her. And they can find you at pinkflamingomarketing.com as well, or communicate with myself or Chloe through practitionerwebsites.com, and you can see what we offer there for practitioners. Wonderful.
Yeah, feel free to go over to my website and check out what I do just to back it up, but you'll need to go back to eHealth for the course. So and also through the course as well, there are ways to book one-to-ones with me through there for special eHealth treatment.
Wonderful. Yeah, so if you're inspired to do the course, Chloe's made it within the course a way to book further sessions with her, which is at preferential rates for Embodied Health Learning members. So yeah, we hope to see you on the course. I look forward to the clinics with you, Chloe. Are we doing a live stream this Wednesday, or have we finished those? I think we've finished them now, have we?
I think I might have a client at the same time. I'll see. But no, I think it would be good to do if you're up for it. It's been fun. I've liked answering all these questions, and we have a really good discussion. So yeah.
We'll see about setting some times for some of those.
Let me just check, see if I can. Are you available for a live stream on Wednesday?
Well, you could do it yourself as well.
Yeah, I can do it by myself.
We'll check. But that was at 11 o'clock. We were doing those Wednesday. If you go to the page, or actually we were doing those into the group, the Embodied Health Community Facebook group, you'll see the previous recordings that Chloe and I did answering some of the questions that have come up. There was a lot of good discussion there, particularly the middle one. We had lots of people on voicing their concerns and questions. So yeah, thank you very much, Chloe, for joining us tonight and building this course specifically for our community. And look forward to the part 2 of the course. And when we'll schedule, if you sign up for the course, you'll get emailed when the clinics are, and any other information about the course will come out to you. So that way it's very easy to stay in touch. You don't need to keep checking social media. You can just have it in your email. So thank you everyone for joining us, and feel free, as Rob has asked, to share this recording on Facebook to anybody that's a practitioner and might benefit from it. And we thank you for doing so.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you very much.
Good night,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you for this opportunity. It's been my pleasure, and it's been in the pipeline for such a long time now that I'm really glad to let it out there for everyone to enjoy.
Born out of a lot of experience of working together, which is the best thing, rather than just making it, plucking it out of the air.
Totally, yeah. So yeah, obviously we started working together actually through Marie Tilbert, didn't we?
Yes.
Through our designer.
Yeah.
And actually then I've been worked with Julian, and also worked with an awful lot of the e-health community as well, in the UK, across Europe, and also Canada as well. So yeah, it's just come together just really gradually and naturally, and through a lot of understanding as well of the e-health community. So
yeah. John, just at the end, Chloe, it's always good to remind some people of what else is happening this week and within eHealth. So Wednesday, we've got the second part of an assessment course, looking for the health within assessment with Liz Stewart, which is about the relational aspects of bodywork practice or therapeutic practice. It's very experiential, and Liz is a clinical supervisor as well as a structural integrator with years of experience both educating and practicing, from Boulder, Colorado. And Friday we have something, don't we, John? And Thursday.
Well, I in my diary I've got the fascia integrity question and answer. Is that happening Thursday?
I don't know if we've had confirmation. Is that Thursday? Andrea's about as well. She can maybe pull us straight on what's actually happening. And Friday there was something, isn't there?
I don't think so.
No?
No, the following Friday there is, but I don't.
Last week we had 12 webinars, so apologies for our confusion. We've been zoomed out. But Wednesday we definitely know Liz Stewart's second part of her course, and Chloe's got a page of her own. But if you go to embodiedhealthlearning.com and go to our courses, short courses, you'll see Liz's one there to sign up for, and you can catch up on the first recording from the first week and bring any questions to the second week, which is this Wednesday. So yeah, thank you all for joining us. Good night, Chloe and everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.